Faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead. I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head. I'm gonna make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know, show me who you know. Better let them know we bout to blow. It's time to go, go, go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah. Go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah, 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 yeah. I ain't tryna drain my time, yeah. Simply wanna show you what I'm worth, yeah. Daily I'ma stay on my ground. Have a little faith and go to work. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go to work. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm on grind like every day, 'cause I want everything. I can do anything. Check my resume. It's people against you. They see what you've been through. But look in the mirror, tap into your spirit. There's power within you. Like LinkedIn, I'm locked in, get the job done when I clock in. I weighed out my options, put the work in, that's action, no lacking, just stacking. Big dreams I'm attracting, no accidents, that's fate. Just go in and have a little faith. Faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead, I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head, I'm gonna make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know, show me who you know. Better let them know we bout to blow. It's time to go, go, go. Go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah. Go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah, 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 yeah. I ain't tryna trade my time, yeah. Simply wanna show you what I'm worth, yeah. Daily I'ma stay on my ground, yeah. Have a little faith and go to work. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go to work. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, now go nuts, go nuts, go nuts, donuts, 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 donuts.
Hey there, I'm Trevor Houston, the creator of the Who You Know Summit, and I'd like to welcome you to the Who You Know Job Networking Show.
On our program, we'd like to show you a job search like you've never seen.
Everything from getting noticed by employers, how to properly format your resume, and how to network effectively using LinkedIn to drive recruiters to your profile.
We even take suggestions from our amazing community.
So if you want to learn all things job search, go ahead and subscribe now.
Focus! It's all about the job search. So if you want to learn how to land that next success, you heard them. All you got to do is subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss out on a thing. Welcome to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but
Whoop whoop! Who you know?
Who you know?
Tell me who you know.
Can make all the difference in your job search.
it
right?
definitely can. All right, I'm super excited. Woo! We got an amazing show.
Yep.
Why you excited? We got something.
I got some things. Today is going to be a fire episode. Okay?
Yeah, it will.
Now, here's the deal. Some of you may be here because we had scheduled, and I even put out a big blast, we had Tim's story scheduled. You may be here ready for Tim's story. I actually had to reschedule that episode. He's going to be here on August 18th, so make sure to mark your calendars. But regardless, guys, let me just tell you, I got some fire for you today. day. Like, for real. You ready?
It's on.
It's going. It's on and cracking today.
Okay, let's see.
Okay.
Let's see.
But before we do all of this fun stuff, I do want to go to the audience. Let's see who we got here.
We got Carlin Davis. Carlin, we got to talk today.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
What's that about?
Oh, I'll tell her later.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you. It'll take time to explain.
Who else we got? We got Reggie Hansen. Hey, Reggie. Gregory Offner. Hey, Gregory.
Where's
Roger
Meg Rose? Is she
Brooks.
with us?
Javier Guerra. Jim Becker. Hey, Jim. Good to see you.
Lane Peeler, Flo Nicholas, what's good?
Hey,
Tanya
Flo.
Council.
Oh, Tanya.
Tanya, yeah.
Up in
All right,
Arkansas.
Tanya.
You know what I'm talking about. These are the Who You Know
Mammoths.
Nation in the house. Who You Know Nation. Hey, guys, do me a favor real quick. Rep your city, rep your hood. I want to know where you're coming from, okay? Tell us where you're coming from because I see Jim Ballard, Frisco, Texas.
Daniel Abel, hey, man.
You know what I'm saying? He's out in Frisco.
We got Marcelo Quiros all the way from Sao Paulo,
All from Sao
Brazil.
Paulo. Hey, Marcelo Quiros.
Pauline in McKinney, Mactown. That's my hood. That's where I rep. You know what I'm saying? So Mactown.
Mactown, okay.
Jim Young is in Fort Worth. We got Houston in the house. We got more McKinney, Pauline. We got, what else we got here?
James Wolf up in Berlin,
Vo's with us
New
again.
Jersey. Hey, James.
Carrollton, Texas. Neil Anson, good to see you. Kathy, how are you? Man, I love these people. These people are just amazing. Okay.
Good to see you all.
Lori West, wow.
Lori West, hey.
Lori West is up there.
Hey,
Wow. Okay,
right,
guys,
let's
why don't we
start
do
with
this?
Talk to.
We got a lot to celebrate, and we're going to get that to in just a second. But we always like to bless this show with a prayer for our listeners. So if everybody can bow your heads with me real quick. Dear Lord, thank you for this amazing day. And thank you for your word that's going to flow through this show to touch these people out here. And that's the goal and the mission is to help lift these folks up. But Lord, use us. Use us as your vehicle to do this, to help lift them up and help them get them back to where they need to be, where you've called them to be, Lord.
Right.
In Jesus' name, I pray, amen.
Amen. Flow through the
Amen.
show. It's all about who you know.
Flow through the show. It's all about who you know. What? Oh, snap. I like
happened.
that. Mark had a rhyme? Dang, Mark, I didn't know you had it like
Mark
that.
dropped some
Yeah, you know, I
science.
started a band.
Oh, yeah?
I started a band. It was
No.
called the 999 Megabytes, but we still haven't gotten to a gig.
It got quiet.
Mark, you know how we have mic drops? Right? We just need to
You
take
take
this
that-
mic.
Throw the mic up.
Yeah. Get rid of that mic. Cut that mic. We need scissors up in here.
Oh my God.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Dad jokes with Mark.
It's an Illinois thing. Well, maybe not. I better not say that with our guests on today.
All right. So we've got a lot to be grateful for and a lot of donuts. We got to celebrate with some cash flow because you've got a lot of people back to work and back to their cash flow.
Yeah.
So, Mark, who do we got? Who do we got?
All right, fire them off here. We got, hey, we had a lot of who you knowers. We got Edmund Younger. Yay, Edmund. We got Shay Mercer. We got
Shay
Michael
Mercer.
Fink. Lotta Makia. Larry Sutherland.
Look at all
Rachel
this money.
Hebowski. Michael Sadeth.
Oh, wait.
Lisa
wait a
Tom-
minute.
Lisa Simpson.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh, wait. What? Huh?
What is this?
Surprise, surprise.
Hey, who's this guy back here? Who is this guy back here? Oh my goodness.
We got real donuts?
What? Didn't we just see that guy?
What? Is this for real?
All right,
for real?
before he comes in, Debbie Borchik, Pamela Garcia, Miriam Cholet, Sergio Garcia, not the
Sergio.
golfer, Savannah Skull, and
Yes.
Adrian Jackson.
Hey,
Congratulations
Nice.
Nice.
Congratulations.
to all of you. Oh, and big time, big time.
Hold on. Come on in, man. Come on.
Delivery for
in.
who?
I do believe these might be something.
Say what?
Let me help myself.
Mike Materian.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome in.
You got
Mike,
one guess as to what just happened.
What just happened?
Hold on.
What just
Yeah,
happened?
yeah.
What just happened?
Yeah.
Give us details.
Yes.
Yes, it is true. The eagle has landed.
Wow, Mike.
Oh
you
my
were-
gosh, I haven't had this much fun since, gosh, I don't know
Here,
when.
here,
You
let
were
me-
just-
You take those things
Let me
here.
take
And,
this.
Is
This
just
is
on the show
this is
last
real
week.
donuts. Hold
That's
on.
Hertz donuts
Oh,
you got.
that's Hertz
that's
donuts.
Hertz donuts.
That's the
We
real
don't
deal
do
right
anything
there.
cheap around
Frisco.
here.
That is the real deal.
Texas.
Hey guys,
That's right.
so real quick, For those of you that landed, congratulations. For those of you that have not yet landed, it is coming. Let this be an inspiration to you, as well as connect with these folks. They just got a job. The company is hiring. They might still be hiring.
They're hiring left and right.
Man,
All right.
man, can I tell
Mike.
you?
Well, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Trevor, and thank you, Foster.
Absolutely.
Nothing makes me feel better than donuts and money.
Money and donuts. Yes.
Money and donuts. You
Donuts
can't
and
ask for
dollars.
anything better. There you go.
Hey, so, okay, all right. So walk me through how all this came about. Okay, we're super excited for you. I called it too, by the way. When you were on last
you
episode,
posted.
That's right.
I posted a
my
picture.
gun.
You did.
And what did I say?
You said coming soon with a bunch of donut emojis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, okay.
That
I
should have
called
been a
it, I
clue.
spoke it into existence. So here we are. Now, I just got to know how it came about. How did it come about?
We want to know. We're nosy.
Well, you know, it's very simple. All you have to do is follow the advice that these gentlemen give you. Go through the summit, which I did. Post content on LinkedIn on a regular basis. Follow people who are influencers. Talk with the people who are influencers.
All that.
Target your companies, which I did. One of them was called Insight Global, which is a technical staffing firm that is based here in Texas. And turns out that I found a job opportunity through them, and I worked one of my connections, Chuck Vanderweel.
Chuck Vanderweel.
Vanderweel.
Chuck.
All right, Chuck.
Chuck.
So, Chuck.
Chuck.
It's all for you, Chuck. Really, thank you.
Yeah,
So
Chuck,
what
that's
happened was that he put me in contact with the recruiter, did an official introduction. It turns out that I was a little bit late to the game for that opportunity, but the next morning, my recruiter, Sandra Prescott, with Insight Global, found me another position that was even better, and we were off to the races.
Nice.
And the best part of it was that the interview, from the feedback that I got, the account executive Jessica Jessica Gonzalez over at Insight Global, she sat in on the interview, and in their words was that this was the best interview that she had ever sat in on, and that was with the hiring manager.
Best interview, yes.
Why was it the best interview? Because I listened to these guys. That's why.
He's an IT guy. Come on.
That's right. And the best part of it is, I took another piece of advice. Is I stopped looking for job titles, and I started looking for requirements. And this particular position is an IT service manager, service delivery manager for a company called 𝐭𝐡𝐚𝐭, which is based out of Canada.
Yep.
And they have opened up a regional office in Houston, and I will be working remote. So I will be the ambassador between the company, 𝐭𝐡𝐚𝐭, and their clients to make sure that the services are being delivered in a quality fashion, which is what the clients are expecting. After all, they pay a lot of money for those services.
Yeah, they do.
So it all came down to my skills. I looked for a role based on skills, not based on job title, and everything turned out to be an upgrade. I had a second and final interview last Friday, a couple of days after. Actually, it was Thursday, after the day after the show, and it was all formality at that point. And so my starting date will be August 2nd.
Woo!
Nice.
And it wouldn't have been for the gentlemen in this room if it, to made it possible with their advice and their training. And I'm telling you, you gotta listen to them.
Well, and hopefully support, right?
Support,
Because it's
absolutely.
not just about, we're not here just for the tips and tricks and insights and
Exactly.
things like that. But, how long was your search?
My search
Right? We
started.
talked
It
about
took
that last
longer than what we wanted.
Definitely longer. It was.
Yeah.
I started searching on March 1st, 2019, so it was over 2 years. And the pandemic, of course, threw a wrench into everything. As if you had all watched the last show, I had a couple of opportunities disengage when things started shutting down. So I had to literally start from scratch and reinvent myself. And it was through divine providence that you gentlemen came into my life, and the rest, as they say, is history. Now, the one thing I do want to let everyone know, that the other thing that you guys taught and instilled in me is the concept of paying it forward.
Yes.
Because once you land, you
Yes.
think about all the hard times you went through personally, and how people supported you, whether it was through emotional support, engaging in your content in LinkedIn, people sending you DMs, wishing you to feel better. Believe me, we had a lot. I went through a lot of things. You had to watch the last show to catch up on that. But the most important thing is, once you got that job, that closes one door. You open the other one, which is paying it forward.
Yep.
And I'm already working on something which I'm calling Operation Gratitude.
Ooh.
And there's going to be some exciting things that are going to come down the way over the next days or so, which is my way of helping others who have been through, who are going through what I have been through. And there are 9.3 million Americans out there who are still struggling, who are still trying to find that job. I figure if I can help a couple of people along the way, it's worth it.
You know what? And I love that. I love your spirit. And guys, here's the deal with 9.3
million Americans.
9.3 million. I'm pretty sure.
That's more than we can get in this studio.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm pretty sure, guys, that you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who's landing or who's searching, right? You know somebody who's searching. Right, so you're networking at these other groups, and you're connecting with other job seekers, and you're doing that. And if you're not sharing these resources, then shame on you. Okay, I'm just gonna throw that out there. You need to be paying it forward even before you land, and that's what you have the spirit of that.
Yes, I did.
Hey, Mark, let's celebrate. Give me one of those.
Oh, these donuts are there's all sorts of money in them.
Yeah, there's money in there.
There's money.
Hey, which one you want? Which one you want? Mike, which one you want?
Well, you know what? I am going to grab this one right here.
Already got mine.
Because the eclairs have all got your name on them.
The eclair? There's an eclair in here?
Oh,
Man, they're sticky now. These $100 bills. Hold on. Oh, there's an eclair. Okay, I'm going to get that one. We're going to do this the right way.
Money
The right
Mark,
way, man.
in
Get
that
one.
box
For the
is
bear
hun.
claw, or for the bear claw, you
You got a bear
Yeah.
claw?
Or you know what they make? Hertz Donuts has a donut with bacon on it too.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
I
is
know.
something else,
I was a
too.
little bit
Okay.
late
All right,
to
I'm gonna
getting
go to
it.
this one.
Interesting. I've
Go
already
to
got
that one.
mine.
All right.
Let's go. Let's do
Toast.
this.
A toast.
A toast.
Toast.
Oh,
Here's to Mike.
donut
To
toast.
bright futures and great days ahead. And for those who are out there, you will land soon. Foster, I can't take you anywhere,
Wow.
can I?
Boom.
All right.
Go nuts for what?
Donuts.
Donuts.
That's right.
Go nuts for the donuts, y'all.
Blood
Guys,
sugar, here we come.
this is good. Y'all just going to have to sit back at home and watch us eat donuts because that's what we do around here, okay?
It's better for you guys. You don't get the calories.
That's right.
All right.
It's a sacrifice.
Guys, it's getting crazy up in here. Mark, no, wait. Foster.
Yeah.
You got the tip of the week?
I got a tip of the week.
What you got for us?
Guys, we're going to springboard off of what Trevor already said. You got to get out, guys. You got to give yourself an opportunity to hear about things, meet people, all of that stuff. And then we got a big old network for you to do this. So check this out, guys. Here's our job tip for the day. Texas Title in Southlake. Our friend Michelle Alt, who is out of our network, directly out of our HR network, she's been in Texas Title for 10 months, and she's already got a promotion. So they got to backfill her. She was a receptionist, and she is saying this position is in Southlake on Zena Rucker Road, 601 Zena Rucker Road. And what you will be doing, your receptionist role is mainly involves answering phones, greeting clients coming in for closings, putting in new orders, receiving earnest money. This looks pretty earnest, doesn't it?
Wow.
All of these things and other receptionist administrative roles. Now, you guys, this job is open right now, and Michelle Alt is our lady. Connect with me. If you forget Michelle's name, I'll send your resume up. We'll talk about the thing I know about.
Just connect
Texas
with
Title.
Foster. And
Connect with me. You know, that's what I do. I'm the job father, y'all
He's
say.
a job father, man.
All right, guys, we got to go to a real quick break. Don't go anywhere.
See
'Cause
you all
when we
later,
come back-
guys. It was a pleasure. Thanks for allowing this little opportunity.
It's a pleasure having you in the network.
Hey, I'm glad.
Cheers to Mike.
Appreciate you.
Thank
Guys,
you for the
everybody.
donuts.
we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
See ya.
I know I had more potential than just breaking my back every day for minimum wage, and I knew that there was a lot more out there for me. I just had to find the opportunity to get that. When working from paycheck to paycheck, one of the things that you worry about most is just, paying the bills. The biggest fear for me would be just not knowing, you know, what the next week was going to hold or the next month was going to hold, not being sure of my future. Stopped working for the company that I was working for, and that's when I found Perscolla's. Looking back on it now, I can only just think about the opportunities that I've been given from Perscolla's and, you know, the people that work with Perscolla's. And I wouldn't be here at Turner today if it wasn't for that opportunity. I wouldn't have the confidence that I have today if it wasn't for my opportunity.
Hey, Trevor Houston here, and if you're looking for connections to opportunities, free seminars and workshops, to the knowledge and tools you need, and individualized one-on-one coaching for solid plans and solutions, Career and Financial Services is here for you with a holistic approach to educate, empower, and guide you to achieve your desired future. Call today to learn more about how the coaches can assist you to reach your career and financial success.
Hi, this is my first LinkedIn video. I'm Yolanda Villegas from Kansas City, Missouri. I'm an experienced brand, advertising, and marketing strategist who's had the pleasure of working in both B2B and B2C industries. I've had the chance to work with amazing brands like Disney, Hallmark Cards, and General Electric. I've helped them formulate impactful branding strategies and assist them in their international business communications. One of the struggles I've seen with organizations is finding the best way to ensure a positive customer journey. I'd love to share with you my ideas for providing a consistent brand experience, which can then drive customer narratives and ultimately customer loyalty. I'd be so happy to chat with you and learn more about your organizations. I look forward to connecting. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but
That's what's
Who
happening.
you know,
Who
who
do
you
you
know. It can make all the difference in your job, sir.
it definitely
know?
can. All right, so we're excited. We just had a surprise landing for you. Mike Mediterranean just got back to his cash flow. But now, we've got a very special guest in the house who hopefully can help you to automate and machine gun this whole thing, okay? So next up, we've got Joseph Wolz, and he is a principal writer and career endeavor consultant specializing in resume and business communications, document writing, editing, and dissemination. Everybody, please welcome Joe to the house.
All right, Joe, welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Illinois Joe.
Yeah, in from Illinois, the Bears.
No, stop.
The Bears.
Gosh, whenever you do that, I want to just throw a mic at you. It's all about the Cowboys. We don't do
What do you
Bears
think? What do you
around
think,
here.
Joe? What do you think?
I'm not a football fan.
Oh,
see?
Not really a sports
See, you
guy.
get no love
So
here.
I got no dog in this fight.
Come on,
Good.
Joe.
That's
Come
a
on,
good
Joe.
man. Joe, you're a good man. I appreciate that. All right, Joe, we always like to
Good answer, Joe.
have a fun question for you, okay? So
Okay.
we play this game called Would You Rather, okay? So would you rather have the lights on or off if you knew the room was going to be full of snakes?
On.
On.
Yeah, because then I can tell if it's a good snake or a bad snake.
That's logic.
Yeah,
He's using data and logic right there.
that's science.
Science.
Kind of my MO.
I like it. Science. Mark, what about you? He
yeah.
kind of ruined it because after that answer,
Yeah, lights on for sure. Because it's so full of snakes. We're talking like Indiana Jones, like pit of snakes.
Yeah, like pit.
That's how I was expecting. That's what that's how I interpreted it.
Yeah,
Pit of snakes.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark or Foster, what about you?
Look, y'all, the lights are on right now.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
No, we're not snakes. We're not snakes.
Hey.
But it's on. It's on.
You calling me a snake?
We're not on.
You calling me
We're
a
not
snake?
on. I did, I guess.
All right. Hey, I'm cool. We're good. Hey, audience, tell us what you would rather have, on or off, if there was a room full of snakes. I gotta know. Okay, we get sideways, okay? Mm-hmm. And we like to have fun around here. But
Right.
recently I was introduced to you, and you showed me something that really kind of threw me sideways, okay? And so I wanted you to come in here and explain to the audience and to Mark and Foster, who really aren't familiar with the product and how it works.
Yeah, I'm a recruiter.
About your robot application automation, like it's kind of backwards from what we normally teach our audience. So I want you to explain it to the audience, and then I even have a clip I want to show them kind of how it works.
Yeah, we'll cue that up in a sec because let me explain something.
Yeah.
So the automation is new. This is a new thing I'm doing. Most of what I have done up until this point has been resume writing and helping people kind of find their way forward, especially if they're changing or if they're like changing career paths or they're transitioning somehow. And what I advise them in that case is probably really similar to what you guys offer. However, I named this new tool because my 4-year-old loves robots. And so I named it Beep Beep Robot. And what I designed it to do is to automate the job search process. Basically, it logs into your Indeed account, opens, you run your search, and it opens every single job and applies to the majority of them within 20, 30 minutes.
Wow.
So, okay, so hold on. So you showed me it, and it goes through Indeed, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Connects to your Indeed. So, you know, I honestly, guys, I'll just be straight transparent with the audience and everything. I've never even signed into an Indeed account, so I don't even know the process behind going in, logging in, and creating an Indeed account.
I would do that.
Can you? Well, I mean, shoot, I've never had to. So let me ask you this: so what's that process look like? Does it actually qualify the jobs based off of what you're looking for, or are you just applying for a bunch of random positions?
No, it's not random. I mean, it's so this is, you had mentioned earlier that this is a machine gun technique.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And and that's exactly what it is. It's going to hit every target, but it's not. You do put in search terms. So let's say you're in sales. Okay, you're in B2B sales, and you want to maintain B2B sales or move up into a management position where you're running a team. So we would put in sales manager, okay, or sales manager, industry sales manager, sales director, sales executive. Those are the search terms.
Okay.
Right. And Indeed will kick up usually 20, well, what's 20 times 10? 200 jobs that match those criteria.
Okay.
Sometimes it's 400, just depends on what you pick. But it shoots up those jobs within the circle of zip code plus X amount of miles, 25 by default up to 100. Then it shows you all the jobs that meet your search criteria. When you start the program, when Beep Beep goes to work, it just applies to pretty much all of them.
So it machine guns, because you showed me behind the scenes, and the tool, like within like 24 hours it'll apply for like 100 jobs or something. Like, how many jobs does it do?
Well, I usually don't run it for 24 hours because what happens is you within a 24-hour period, it only takes an hour or two to apply for every single job that meets your criteria.
Wow. Okay. So in an hour, like, you're just gonna go for an hour and it's
usually
done.
I run it for my clients. I can run it longer, or the reason I don't sell it on an hour basis is because I can run it longer or shorter depending on how specific your criteria are. So if you have a very specific kind of job, right? If you're a very niche-y kind of person, to get to that 20 jobs or 30 jobs in a day, I would have to run it for 24 hours. If you're in something that is common, at least in regards to skill set, it'll take me 5-6 minutes to apply to 20 or 30 jobs.
Yeah. So
I'll run it for an hour. So
it's pretty crazy. I'm gonna tell you, like, I like it, and I'm gonna say why I like it. Because I've always said this, the companies are investing in technology to weed you out, okay? To take you out of the game. You know, they're investing in all these different personality assessments and all these different ATS systems and investing in technology to put barriers in place, okay? So they're putting all these barriers in place between the recruiter and the hiring manager. So why not have some type of technology that can combat that And normally what I would tell somebody is not to just apply, because how much time is that going to take? That's actually going to take a lot of time. So this is about ROI. It's about getting back to your cash flow as soon as possible. And if you're just apply, that's not a good ROI. You're not going to get there because that's a shotgun. But this is a machine gun.
Yeah, like, so the ATSs in the other automated tools that the companies are using are weeding you out. This is weeding you back in.
Weeding you back in, like literally, like a machine gun, like this. Okay, like literally
That's
that's about right. That's about right. Like how fast it is. So actually, I want to cue up the video real quick. And Joe, there's no audio on the video, so you can leave.
Normally,
you can leave our audio.
The clients don't normally see it. So like this is just what it looks like when it operates in the background. When I run it, I have a series of like virtual machine screens, and you can kind of see them all blinking. But that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, I just liked the fact that I was seeing it, and it pulled up like all these different tabs, and it was just like I sat there and watched you in I don't know, in a 15-minute conversation I had with you, and you were like, "Yep, it applied for I don't know how many jobs it was in that span." I was like, "Oh my gosh," right? Like
I think 10 or 15.
So okay, so my question to you is, what is the results, right? Because a lot of people are going to be skeptical, right? They're going to be like, oh, no, because this goes against, again, everything that we talk about with spray and pray. So skepticism, a lot of people are going to be like, no, that's not the right way to do it. But if it gets results, that's all I care about at the end of the day. What kind of results are we getting with this thing?
I have yet to have anybody not get an interview in 48 hours.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
48 hours?
Most people, yeah, 48 hours.
Drop. Wow.
Mic drop. Yeah, 48 hours. They're getting interviews. And why? Why is that happening? Like, because you even told me you set up like a fake account where you were putting in like,
oh yeah, you told me about this
off the wall answers like to crazy things. Like you put in,
yes.
Like talk to us about some of that, and you still got through the ATS systems, and because it's volume at that point. Like talk to me about some of that.
Yeah. So part of it's volume. Part of it is knowing how ATS works. So again, I do two different things that I offer offer people.
All right.
The way I've been doing research for years on my resume writing business is by writing fake resumes and going on fake job interviews.
Oh.
And I've noticed over the years, let's see, in the last 5 years, I've gone on, I should have had this number handy. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I go on somewhere between 50 and 70 interviews a year.
Fake interviews.
Yeah, fake interviews.
All right, tell me some of the off the wall.
I would
things.
drop Mike to that.
Okay, I want to, like, you're a secret shopper. I like that. So tell me some of the off the wall things that you've put in your resume and still got through. I want to hear this.
Oh, like for the fake ones on the robot, or just in general?
Yeah, like just any of the idea. Yeah, just tell me some of the crazy stuff that you've done that you were still able to get through.
I very often use names that do not match my face.
Okay.
And so I'll get a name, and someone will have a preconceived notion, and they'll call that name, and I'll walk up and say, "That's me."
They're
so kind of like Mark Elder.
Yeah.
Or
there's nothing elder about Mark.
The latest one was I said my name was Muhammad Al-Zawahiri.
Okay. Yeah.
And I walked up and said, "That's me," and they were like, I said, "Call me Mo."
Call me Mo.
So sometimes they let me in the interview. When I do stuff like that, they'll sometimes stop me, but usually I'll go in on the interview and it'll be fine, and everything will go great. So, I interview very well.
So the advantage to this kind of thing, right, is because you have volume. The way I picture it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. The way I picture it is, you are machine gutting your application in your resume. And all of a sudden, you're kind of like starting to book these interviews on autopilot. And then let's say I get 10 interviews. Well, now I am in the driver's seat where
you should be.
I get to be selective, right?
There's the reason I'm actually pretty passionate about this business, about what I do and how I help people. I used to be a college professor, and I needed to find a career that would pay me enough to live on. And I needed something that would leave me with the kind of fulfillment I had as an educator. And one of the things I noticed about the job market is that it's incredibly dehumanizing.
Amen.
And that there's
Yep.
no reason for these companies to treat potential employers the way that they do.
It's so
And
true.
so I devoted all of my research in how the job market works to combating that by trying to figure out how the world actually is as opposed to how the world ought to be, which is a common distinction people fail to make. And so one of the things I've noticed with blasting out resumes is doing exactly like you said. The power should be in the employee's hands.
Amen.
You should be picking between interviewers. You should not be the number one mistake, and I say number one a lot, so apologies. A common mistake that I see with people is that they get one interview and then they take that job. Even though like they may have reservations, it may not be the interview they want, but like they're kind of settling. And I've always hated that. You should never settle. You're worth a lot more than that, no matter what they think.
Woo! Mic drop.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it puts the power in your hands. When you have a pipeline full of interviews, you're going to have confidence. You're going to be selective. You're going to be able to look at it and go, oh, okay. You know what? That one's too far away. That one's not paying enough. This one, actually, it maybe not paying quite as much, but it's exactly what I want to do.
And the robot takes away the first step. So you don't have to go looking for jobs. You don't have to say, oh, here's my zip code within 75 miles or within 150, right? You don't have to then read each one to see what they are. You can just wait for the interviews. Someone saying, hey, I'd like to talk to you more. And then you're like, who are you? You know, it takes out half of the work.
Yeah.
I like that. Because, go ahead.
I was going to say, here's what it does too, Joe, right? It puts you into an abundance mindset, right? It takes you out of that scarcity mindset, and it really puts you in a position of power, right? And so often, we've talked about this before in the network, so often we as job seekers go into an interview, go into a conversation, go into a network from a position of weakness, of need.
Can I give some incredibly cynical advice?
Yes.
On interviews?
Yeah.
Okay, so I apologize for my cynicism beforehand.
All right, I like it.
Here's my problem with interviews. When you go to an interview, right, you're terrified because for you, this is a matter of life and death. For the person on the other side of the desk, this is some annoying crap they have to do on a Tuesday.
Yes.
So
mic drop.
the biggest problem with the whole interview setup is that you walk in scared to death and they are just kind of mildly annoyed. You know, you have to get over the idea that the interviewer is going to be keen and alert and excited, because they're not. They're just trying to fill a hole that Jerry left when he quit 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Many of them are not like thinking this through, you know, and so it's advice that is much easier said than done. But the number one piece of interview advice I give everybody is you cannot be nervous.
Yeah.
Because the energy you're trying to exceed is mild annoyance.
They can smell it, right? They can.
Everybody
smell
can.
It.
No one.
Desperation.
Anyone can.
Yeah, they can
You know,
smell
it doesn't.
Even
Yeah,
through
it doesn't
a Zoom.
take spiritual powers or psychic powers to know if someone's terrified.
Oh, 100%. And even through a Zoom and all that kind of stuff, you can still smell it. Body language, right?
And it's
tone.
It's bad for the job seeker because you're not terrified for, you know, stupid reasons.
Yeah.
You know, it's you know, you're talking about your livelihood here. You know, you have a lot resting on this interview.
Well,
and the other person, you know, they don't really care very much. And you don't, you know, they don't appreciate how terrified you are. No matter how many times you've been on either side of the desk, few people make the connection that you're going to be dealing with someone who's scared, and that you should have a little compassion about that.
Here's what I'm hearing too. And, you know, we talk about you being in the driver's seat and you being able to now make the distinction between what kind of pay you're looking for, what kind of, you know, whether or not it's a certain distance away. You get to be selective about that. But I think more importantly, you get to be selective about the skill set required to do the job. You can now sort through and say, this is my match. This is my match to my skill set in something that I will be challenged at, or maybe not. I'll be sitting there twiddling my thumbs, be bored. I mean, you'll get so much more insight now as to whether or not you're going to be engaged in that interview or engage in that interview.
Yeah, you're just.
I talked to a client this morning about this, who he's been running the program since. Let's say I started running it for him on Thursday. He's been on 3 interviews, and he told me that one of them was not for something he would have applied for, and not in a good way, right? So he didn't go. But the other 2 were both for jobs he wouldn't have applied for. Because he would have felt that he was underqualified, which another thing that I tell my clients and that I'll tell to every single person watching this right now, you're absolutely not underqualified or overqualified. Mostly it's underqualified people worry about being. Oh, I don't feel with this. Are any of you familiar with something called the imposter syndrome?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Are you familiar with something called the Dunning-Kruger effect?
No, I haven't heard of that one.
Okay, so the Dunning-Kruger effect is the opposite side of the same coin. The idea behind the Dunning-Kruger effect is that if someone has a little bit of knowledge, they think they have more, and then they make stupid decisions because they think they're smarter than they are. The opposite of that coin is imposter syndrome, where you feel underqualified or like an imposter doing the wrong thing. Let me tell you guys a secret from psychology. Imposter syndrome only affects the competent. Only someone who can do the job will feel imposter syndrome.
Okay, interesting.
It only infects the competent because the incompetent have Dunning-Kruger effect and think they're great.
Yes, it makes perfect sense.
So if you ever feel as if you're an imposter, as if you shouldn't be doing this, if you're getting away with something, that means you're good at your job.
I like that. I like that.
So
go ahead, Foster.
Can I be
Go ahead, sorry.
a little
I'm a
bit
talker.
not I am too. That I don't want to be all the way a devil's advocate, but I was in a position to where when I was recruiting director, and for a couple of 3 real big companies, and my job was to make sure that we found the right candidate, that everybody was the right people to interview that candidate, and that would be excited so we can show this candidate that we're trying to hire. Now, when we're trying to hire somebody, there's probably 3 or 4 other companies trying to hire them too. We want to be the one that snags that right talent, that we feel is the right talent. So I placed the right people in the right places with the right attitude to interview that person. So, and that is not, you don't see every company do that. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, no one does that.
Yeah,
but for every story
I'm
like
not the
yours,
only one out there. We started a network of us, recruiters that we just had a recruiter roundup last night of leaders in these companies that are set up to do exactly opposite from that. So there are 3 companies in Fort Worth and 2 in Dallas right now that unequivocally do that.
I would like to speak with them too, because there's an endemic problem in the way there's an endemic problem in the way that
I hear you.
Hiring is done.
Yes,
and
it is.
I joke, this is that cynicism again. I joke that most of my living is made off of the backs of human laziness. Those are the links in the chain that I exploit to get my clients jobs.
Well, no, that's 100% true. I mean, they're putting all of these barriers in place, right? Because otherwise, they have to face-to-face talk to all these people or actually look at every single resume, and that's not going to happen with the volume that's coming through.
The way it works, so the reason the way ATS works, the way this works, the thing that I'm exploiting with the automation, okay? Most of the jobs you apply for online, you're probably going to go through a third party like Indeed or LinkedIn. So you're going to go through 2 ATSs. So you and 30 resumes that passed the computer got their thumbs up, right? Let me start from the beginning. You fill out that big application, you hit submit. In under half a second, your thumbs up or your thumbs down. If your thumbs up, you and a pile of 30 or 40, if they're using Taleo, 30 or 40 are going to be handed to a 23-year-old with an arts degree and no previous job experience who's given 10 minutes to pick the best 5.
That's true. Not in all
cases. And she's going to sort through them looking to say no. She's not looking for yes. The computer already told her you can do no, or that you can do the job.
Well, I like it. I think it's a numbers game, and I think that if you're able to, if you're able to combat technology with technology, then why not? Right?
Yeah,
They're putting AI in the way of your opportunity in your future, they're putting AI in the way of your opportunity. Why not use a little AI to give you the leg up? That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. You know, like I from the beginning of doing this, I've always told my clients that I want you to get a job. I'm here, yes, you're paying me, but I'm here to help you. That's my job. You are my client. I'm not a recruiter. You're paying me, not the company. You're not my product. And so I've always done my best to make sure that my clients get jobs. I have yet to have a client out of 5,800 resumes that I've written. I have yet to have a single client who didn't get a job. Now,
Well, I'm going to give you a mic drop for that.
I've had
that's
16 of those 5,800. I have had 16 that have not gotten jobs within 2 or 3 months. And so I had to rework stuff. I'm human. I make mistakes. But I can tell you of the people who've run the robot, I've had not a single one not get an interview in 3-4 days max, right? So call it 5 days just to be safe. And I've had 100% success with it.
Nice. That's what I'm trying to hear right there. It's all about results. Guys, we've had a lot of mic drops and we're getting close to time. So here's what I'd like to do. No, you're good. You're good. I want to give away this tool. Like we're going to give it away. We're going to give it away to 2 lucky audience members. You're going to get to use this tool and then I want you to report back to me. And I want you to say,
need to know.
I want you to say,
I
want you to come back and tell me, hey, Joe's the real deal, or man, that guy Joe's smoking something. I don't know what he's smoking, but he's on something. But I want you to report back to me because I need to know. And I think this is awesome. I'm super excited about it. So let's give it away. 2. All right. So
what's 2 of them?
What's the question that we're going to ask that we want the audience to answer?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I got a good question. What did Joe say he used to be?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
What was his job? He said he used to be a...
I wasn't even listening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he said it. He said it.
I wasn't even paying
All right,
attention.
so that's the
Trevor
question.
remember
What,
when he
what
hears the
profession did Joe used to have? What job did he have?
Yeah, tell us in the
Everyone's
comments.
rewinding.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
right.
I wasn't paying attention. What did he used to do?
It's pretty cool.
Was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. Oh, yeah, I got it. I'm hearing Alyssa. She says professor.
Yeah?
Yep. Okay. So Alyssa, and then Kathy says teacher. She was the next answer. Are you going to accept that, or do you want to go with professor as your answer? You're like, your face.
No, either one will do.
Either one will do?
Either one. I'll give them to Kathy
right.
and Alyssa.
Okay,
All right.
okay. Kathy and Alyssa, you're going to get the autopilot experience, okay? You're going to get to machine gun your job search, and I want you to report back to me. And tell me if you're going to get any interviews within how many days you said? The longest?
Let's hedge and say 5.
5 days. I want you to report back to me and tell me
5
what
days.
you got.
There
All
you
right,
go. There you go.
guys, we got to go to a real quick
Alyssa.
commercial break. Hey, thank you so much, Joe. We really do
Joe,
appreciate
that was
you.
good. That was real good.
Guys, we got to go
thank
to
you guys so much for having me on. I hope that if they have more results, I'd be happy to come back and talk about more
100%.
stuff.
If you
I
get
think
some results,
that needs to happen.
you coming back. Guys, we got to go to a real quick break. Don't go anywhere because when we come back, we got Mark Dyson in the house.
You know you have something unique to offer your next employer, whether it's your experience or your work ethic or your passion or your personality. But how do you stand out from the crowd when you're stuck sending plain text emails that lack personality, lack humanity, and worst of all, look like every other email in the inbox? Job seekers just like you are discovering how easy it is to put their humanity back into their communication and back into their job search with BombBomb Video. Visit bombbomb.com to start a free trial today and rehumanize your job search.
Mark and Trevor were fantastic at providing tips I wasn't even aware of. But it wasn't just tips. It was additional networks, free services from professionals providing their time, volunteering their time, and even some very strong paid resources.
Thank you for making the job search more productive and connecting with the right people. Everything that you all are doing, your whole team was amazing. The experience was phenomenal.
Then I attended the Career Transition Summit and got a few new tips that really helped and energized me. And now I have an offer letter.
Welcome to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but
who you
know can make all the difference in your job search.
You heard the song, Who You Know.
All right, guys, so I'm super excited. Our next guest, we've got Mark Dyson in the house. He is a prolific writer, thinker, speaker, an award-winning blog and podcaster, and he's got a rich source of information for anyone exploring the job market. He's been featured on Forbes, Business Insider, Inc., Fast Company, NPR, and LinkedIn News Live.
Wow.
If everybody can give a warm welcome to Mark Dyson.
Mark Dyson.
Mark Dyson.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Mark. What's up, Mark?
Mark. I got a question for you, man. Would you rather, would you rather wear a green leprechaun hat every day or fairy wings? Which one would you rather?
Oh, wow, dude.
Probably the green leprechaun caps. I'm triggered by fairy wings from childhood. So.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't
Good answer. We better keep by.
I don't want to know about them fairy wings and what happened in that story. We'll talk about that offline. But no. Hey, I'm excited you're here, and if you've been listening to kind of what we were talking about over here with Joe, right, about this autopilot system, what are your thoughts? I'm curious to what are you thinking about that?
Well, I think only having heard a part of it, I would probably say I would have to hear some more. The main thing for job seekers is, one, can they control their job search? And their results. And of course, you would want to still use complementary, strategies, I think, along with anything that you use that's automated if you decide to go that route. I can't say it's bad because there's going to be people that are going to say that everything works. There are people who say that objective statement has worked great for their job search. We know that many times an objective portion of a resume is kind of old guard and old school and is kind of obsolete for most people. But there are people who find jobs with it. So I can't say, and I'm not going to bash anything. I don't know enough and have a lot of experience, but I would say that for every time you apply to a job, you should try to get in contact with a human who can also refer you on the back end. And the reason that I think it even works out, even though you might be insured to interview, is that if you dig deeper, if you go to from the referrer to the person he may know that can introduce you to the next person, that introduce you to the next person, let's say 5 people deep, and they're each introducing you, that's possibly 15 more people you can use to within a company to get to know. So the statistics show that not only referrals increase your chances of getting interviewed and getting hired, but the more people you know within the company, the more likely you'll be successful in the company and down the line, and you would have an already set network in that job should you get that job.
Yeah, so networking, networking, we totally, I mean, it's the Who You Know Job Networking Show, so I'm totally in alliance with what you're saying, right? Now, what I think is if you combine the two, right, now we got a superpower. Here's my thought. Less time applying, more time networking. Less time applying because it's going to shotgun or machine gun, right, your application. more time networking. So to me, I always look at things as ROI. Where am I going to get the most return? And if I'm just data input, that's not a good ROI, right? In my eyes. This thing is doing the data input for you on autopilot. So anyways, I just wanted to hear what your thoughts were. Let's talk about some of those strategies that you do, right? Because you're being featured all over the place, man.
Voice of the job seekers.
So I love that. What are some of your, do you have like a go-to strategy that has like really been kind of a home run for you?
Well, I think in the past couple of years, I've talked more about job search being a lifestyle rather than an event, rather than just being a seasonal thing that you do, because most behavioral people is that they only look for jobs when they need a job. And these days with the things where they are and things shifting like that, if you're just looking when you need it, you're really behind months and months. So if you're already, job search is a lifestyle, you're already, and that doesn't mean you're perusing job boards all the time. I don't mean that kind of lifestyle. I mean for the fact that you're learning, that you're developing, that you're building your network, you're connecting, you're giving. And giving is a strategy. It's not, and I'm not talking about giving. I'm not talking about giving, just to get. But you're going to probably give 10 times as much as that you're probably to get back if you're doing it right. And we can argue whether that's 5 or 10 times, but we will say that honestly, that there is a very deep ROI with that, because when you're giving to other people, you're not just in person you give, but person that the people who are watching you give are also being impacted in that way.
I heard you say something very, very important, Mark, which is, the continuation of your networking and really of your search, because somebody actually early on in my stages of my careers had said something, which a good salesperson is always looking for the next great opportunity, right? And so when you get landed, to the job seekers, when you get landed, it's not necessarily searching for the next job outside of that company even. It's continuing to network and have those skills sharpened for internal positions as well. Think about that. You should always be looking for your next opportunity, whether that's with the company that you're in or not, right? And if you're looking for, most people don't start a job envisioning themselves staying in that same position for the rest of their lives. They're looking for reasons and opportunity to advance. And a lot of these skills are going to be required to do that.
If you're not growing, if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yep.
Okay. And so if you're not constantly evolving, sharpening, molding, you're just going backwards. Okay. And so for the job seekers right now, like, you're going to get back to it. Right now, it's uncomfortable for you because sometimes in order to remodel a kitchen, you got to rip out some cabinets. Okay. It's real uncomfortable. There's an uncomfortableness to the whole process. But you're growing in this season right now. Whether you know it or not, you are growing. You're being molded and you're being sharpened.
Yeah, and it's funny you should use that analogy, because I own some property here in Chicago.
All right.
And it's funny because one of the kitchens in the building we are remodeling, and because we have gotten the wrong size of Lazy Susans, and they're quite large, but they're also old school and don't fit through a lot of the doors that you have in some cases. So now we had to get a small one. So while you're waiting for that, you start to build other parts of your house. So just because I'm working on the kitchen doesn't mean I can't still, and things are stalled in the kitchen, that doesn't mean I don't work on the bathroom, other parts of the house.
Got to keep it going.
And that's where job search as a lifestyle really is. And, most people feel like I have to do all that. Well, it's not as hard as you think, because look how much time you waste. The TV you watch, all the things you can do now while you're even watching TV. I mean, I work, but I also got other things going on. I've got music going on. That's how it always was. I made straight A's in grad school. but I had music on most of the time, or that I would have a TV on. And, you know, it's not that hard. It's not rocket science, but it depends on your heart focus and your life focus.
Well, I love that because
those two things, you got it right.
It's about what are you feeding your mind, right? During your downtime could still be productive, right?
You can attend. Even if you're listening to a podcast or YouTube while you're in the grocery line, 6 feet apart from people, you really can't. It's awkward to have conversations these days with other people through a mask. If you're into that thing, then of course that would be a time to do some development, to find new information, to see where else you can build that house and keep renovating that house, because you want to sell it at its prime. You want to sell it when you can get the most for it. You don't want to sell it when you don't do the renovations and you don't get as much as you paid for.
Yeah, and I will say, you know, whatever you're feeding your mind, like turn off the Netflix, because until the Who You Know show comes to Netflix, you need to turn it off, because it ain't teaching you nothing. You ain't learning nothing. You're not sharpening yourself.
It depends.
You know.
It depends what you watch on Netflix, but I think all in all, people don't do what they're supposed to do as far as you know, keep the development going. And most people shut it down and they think they can just settle and coast on to the next job when opportunities are turning around a whole lot quicker. It used to be 3, 4, 5 years. Now it's like 1 or 2 where you can actually get your next promotion if you start building. And also you should be using your own dime. This is where a lot of people get. Well, if you want to control the circumstances and control the way your career goes, don't wait for the company. The company is going to take 2 or 3 years because it wasn't approved last year's budget. Because of COVID, it wasn't approved on this budget. And here you are. This is your career and your life. You could have paid for it yourself. You could have done the due diligence, and now that you pay for yourself, you can use it the way you want to instead of the company and the way the company wants you to, and that's part of controlling your career and everything that's surrounded.
See, I look at it as kind of like surfing. Okay, I look at it like surfing. Okay, so you have to get set. You have to be in the right position at the right time, and you have to get ready for that right wave. If you ever watch a surfer, they'll let 10 waves go by, waiting for that right opportunity, right? They're looking for that big old thing, and they got to get in the they got to get in the right place, the right time. They've got to be in the right position. But if they're not ready for it, if they're not positioned, when that big old bad boy wave comes, it's going to pass them by. It's going to pass them right by. They won't be ready for it. But guess what? Here's what I'll say. Even if that opportunity passed you by, guys, guess what? Another wave is coming. It just may take a while. Right.
And you've got to be ready to do it. And one of the other things that I talk a lot about is you should have a mindset of a consultant. And what a mindset of a consultant is that you're going in, a company hires a consultant to solve problems, period. You're looking for the problems, and you need to be able to get deep in that problem. And, you know, referrals can help you, but also when you interview with a company, you've got to have a mindset of a consultant, because you want to know where all the problems are. Sometimes I use the analogy, you want to know where the dead bodies are so you can see the live people clearly. But I think that's where people get mixed up. They have a very passive attitude. With a consultant mindset, you're going to have a very active mindset, and saying that, hey, I can find out these problems. I can apply these solutions. This is how it's worked with the last company I with. I'm sure it would be even better with the company I work with now, and knowing what's up front here.
One thing, Mark, that the majority, we've got a huge network. The Career Searcher Network, mostly, I don't know what percentage, but it's a real high percentage of us that are baby boomers and Gen Xers. And we, in Foster's 50s, my job search looks a little bit, it looks a lot of bit different than if I were in my mid-20s or early 30s. That consultant mindset I like, because we picked up a lot of job seeker, we're a subject matter expert now. And so we can apply our position in a consultative type of fashion and make a career out of that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that even being older, I'm 60.
Oh wow!
I'm in that. I'm in that group myself.
Oh, you lie! You lie! Coming on this show,
I'm in
like
that group as well.
Must be that.
And I've worked as consultant. One of the great things about having that mindset is that you have you actually, in a lot of ways, you control the conversation. You may not control the tempo of the conversation, but you control the conversation because these are your solutions. You know that will work. It's a matter do you want to buy?
That's true.
And I think the other part of it is that you have a lot of resources and things that are at your fingertips that the people that interview you or may even refer you, they don't know anything about. So your resources are very deep, and the older you are, the deeper those resources are. You just have to also demonstrate that you're also relevant. So by me being able to do 2 live streams, that puts me in the mind of employers as somebody that's not 60. Because typically somebody who's 60, they're kind of they're shifting down, and they're getting slower, and they may not be as relevant, and they're asking who Drake is and all those all those kind of questions. When really what you've done is you say, yeah, I talk to these people on these platforms all at one time. That's mind blowing for most. In fact, that's mind blowing for some millennials and some Gen Zs that you could do that. But all in all, to say is that you have to just show up as being relevant by keeping up your skills. And I do all the time, even as a consultant, even as a writer, I have to innovate. And as long as you innovate, you can control the conversation about you and your personal brand and everything about your career.
So I love it. So you got to be innovative.
Take the control back.
Take the control back. All right. So we've had a bunch of mic drop moments. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give away, you got an ebook. You want to tell us real briefly what that ebook's all about? And then we're going to give one away.
Mark and I grabbed it again.
Well, it's 421 Modern Job Search Tips 2021.
Oh, dang. Okay.
And what I've done is I write all the time, so I collect tips all of the time.
Right.
I compile them in a book, and there's probably maybe even closer to 500 at this particular point. Yeah, I put a whole lot more than 421 tips in there. And probably when I publish it in December, it might be 522. I don't know yet. I haven't decided that yet. But all in all, these are just tips that you can just think about and get you started. Not that I expect you to use all 400 and something, but you pick 2 or 3 at a time, and then you begin to work through it like a batch of dough.
Nice. All right, so let's do this. Let's give it away. Let's give it away. Give it away. Give it away now.
Give it away now.
All right. So what do we want to ask the audience? Mark, you're always good with these questions. Something that we've talked about so far.
How old is Mark?
Oh, okay. Yeah. How old is Mark?
Yes.
Not how old does he look.
We covered that recently.
Not how old does he look. Because he looks 12.
He looks younger than I am.
Coming up here on this show
young.
lying, talking about he's X age. Not today.
Mark, I'm going to give me a hat, Bree.
How old is Mark? So how old is Mark? I got another question for the audience. What has 5 letters, sometimes has 9, and never has 5?
What?
Come on,
Say
Mark.
it again.
Come on, man.
What has 5 letters, sometimes has 9, and never has 5?
Just tell us.
Oh, wow.
We're at the
It's
end of the
gonna be
show.
lame,
Tell
y'all.
us. Go.
It's going to be lame. It's not going to get one of those.
No, it ain't.
What, sometimes, and never?
Oh, my God.
Come on, son.
What has 4?
What has 4?
What has 4?
I didn't quite see
Sometimes
that
has
coming.
9.
That ain't right. is
Why
it?
a
It
dad
never has
joke?
5.
At the end, while we're doing, come on, Mark. Come on.
I lied. I said it wasn't going to get any money. It got some money. $300
All right.
right
Mark.
there.
All right, we got some winners. We got some winners. We got Daniel Abel.
Daniel Abel, congratulations.
Congratulations,
60
Daniel
is
Abel.
the answer. You don't look 60. You don't look 60, my friend. You are every day.
There's nothing 60 about you, Mark and Mark.
Of 12 years old, my friend. Hey,
good.
I appreciate you coming on this show. If the audience can do me a big favor right now, let him know how much we appreciate him coming on this show. Take a big screenshot with your phone or whatever device you're on right now, and I want you to post that, okay? Post it.
That.
This is going to help you to stay relevant. It's going to give you a piece of content, and I want you just to say a few nice words about Mark and, you know, and we're talking about not Mark Elder and his lame dad jokes, okay? So we don't want to hear about that.
Mark's lame dad.
We want some nice things about Mark, and thank you so much for coming. We really
Mark,
do appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing it.
Yep.
Put Ohio on the map, Mark.
Fantastic, Mark.
And congratulations to Mike, who just landed, one of your guys, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah, Mike Mediterranean, but it's
landed
Mediterranean.
a position. Awesome. And you guys do an awesome job. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Straight out of Illinois. Thank you.
Guys, that's the show. It's all about
money.
Who ya know.
Yeah. All that.
Bye. Trevor Houston here, and I want to thank you for tuning in to the Who You Know Job Networking Show. We hope you've been inspired, encouraged, educated, and entertained all at the same time. For information on our different events, workshops, partners, or partnership opportunities available, check out whoyouknow.show for more details. And be on the lookout for our new mobile app coming soon. You never know how this show could help someone you know. And if we've made an impact or put a smile on your face today, don't forget to hit that share button on your way out. Until next week, it's all about who you know. Bye.